Direct from Foxboro, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxboro Cable Access. It's Foxboro Central. And here's your host, Bob Hickey.
And welcome to another fantastic episode of Foxboro Central. I am Bob Hickey. I am your host, and thank you for taking a little bit of time to join me as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxboro truly the gem of Norfolk County. Today we're not going to talk about a Foxboro organization. We're going to talk about one in our neighboring community of Mansfield, one that does service our area and one I think you'll enjoy hearing and learning about. Let me welcome my guest today with Mansfield, and I'm going to write Mansfield Shredding Service.
Okay.
All right, how are you doing? And this is Tim Carter.
Nice to meet you. I'm
and
Tim Carter.
You are the operations manager of Mansfield Shredding Service.
That's correct.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too,
and
Bob.
coming out here to Foxboro to share with us.
My pleasure, really.
And my other guest is Kathy Harney. Kathy, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you are the founder and the president of
Yes.
Mansfield Shredding Services. Well, fantastic. What is Mansfield Shredding Services?
Well, Mansfield Shredding Service is a DBA it's a nonprofit service, but it is a DBA of Mansfield Shredding, or Mansfield Innovative and Developmental Services, Inc. That's the main corporation, and what we do are small startup businesses, and our first one is Mansfield Shredding Service.
And you've been around for 6, 7, 8 years?
Yeah, the corporation was founded 7 years ago, and our first business, Mansfield Shredding, started about 6 years ago.
So this is the first business, and knowing what I know, as little as I know about the service, this is a business that is geared towards employment opportunities for adults with developmental disabilities?
Yes, yes it is. Yes, that's exactly what it is. We provide to many schools and adult programs the opportunity to come in and volunteer and also employment, but for job training skills, business education, customer service, any types of skills that they may need or they have a passion to learn, and we provide that opportunity to them. And it's a real live functioning business, so they have all aspects of the business that they run.
And of course it's and forgive me, it's been a while since I was in touch with the industry. It's not exactly a sheltered workshop. It's a full-fledged business.
Exactly. And we service the residents of the surrounding communities and also small businesses. So it's a real live business, and we're self-sustaining. So we have to get the sales to stay open and provide these services.
So it's a real business. It's not subsidized.
Nope.
It's not.
We are not subsidized. We have no funding that we receive from the state or the federal government. We have to make the sales to stay in operation.
Fantastic. And I guess now would be a great time to share. The facility is located at 174 North Main Street in Mansfield.
Yep.
And this is a storefront. It's what kind of a facility is it?
It's a storefront. We actually offer a couple walk-in services. You could, customers come, they pull right up, they make us aware we're there, we run out, carry everything in for them. And there's two different things they could do. They could drop it off, and when they do drop it off, that's when the challenged adult teams come in, and they that's where they would shred a lot of the documents that are being dropped off. There's also what we call an express shred, and that's where they can witness the documents being destroyed immediately in front of them. So it's a very popular service. Some people like the peace of mind that comes along with it. And both methods 100% safe and secure. It's really good, to have the challenged adult teams come in and be able to both, interact with the machinery and with the customers to kind of help make everything a little bit more well-rounded. It's awesome, and aid them in future employment.
Excellent. So, and for those of you who know, I work at a bank, and so security of documents and shredding of sensitive documents is a high dollar value exercise, as well as document storage. So, who is your customer? Am I your customer?
We have a variety of different customers. We do a lot of some banking things, a lot of insurance agencies, some school systems, like a lot of residential, like we said. Insurance agencies, accountants.
We have accountants. We have some medical. It's based on what the customer's needs are. We have independent individuals, plumbing, roofing, landscaping, restaurants. We have every kind of business you can imagine. We provide those services to.
So this is not to put a thumbnail on it, but this is a paper shredding service for private residences, businesses, large and small.
Oh, exactly.
And there's an express service where people can zip up, watch their docs being shredded as they're
standing there and they can witness it.
And then the larger ones, they'll give you boxes, and that's something that you work on throughout the day.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic. So, how's business?
This is have been 19, or listen to me, oh my God. 2013 was our best year to date.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of volume do we do?
Are you talking tonnage or dollars?
This is your show, you tell me. Actually, I like the tonnage aspect of it.
The tonnage, what we do is our paper is all recycled. We shred it on site, and we also have a service where we are partnered with Hannah Paper Recycling here in Mansfield. And when we started up the shredding service, they were a business mentor of ours, and since then it's developed into a very good friendship with Hannah Paper. And they provide us, like if we have very large volume shredding where we have received 500 or 1,000 boxes of documents, they provide the super shredding. Anything smaller than that we can handle within the store. And anything that's shredded, we then take it up to Hannah Paper at the end of the day, and then it's baled up and sent out to pulp manufacturers. And we can go, say 5, it could be well over
well, this
5,
past
10,
year,
probably like 60 tons or more paper we could do in a year.
So
and I'm
this is
sure
a
it's
serious
60 more than
business then.
tons.
That's a
oh
serious
yes,
business.
It's a serious business, and we've been growing rapidly in 2013 to where we've now reached out to like the Boston area where we're supporting them.
Wow.
I think it's something like a 54% increase in revenue since last year. So it's really a rapid increase.
So with that, I suppose that we'll get into the employees and the people who make up your challenge teams.
Sorry.
Is that the term you used?
Yeah, so challenge adult teams.
Challenge adults, thank you.
Yep. As Kathy said, we have many different affiliations with some high schools. One from Foxboro High, Mansfield High, North Attleboro Community School, an HMEA, BICO collaboratives, many different challenge adult affiliations, and they come in periodically throughout the week. We have a different team scheduled for each day, and that kind of plays into our walk-in drop-off service that I mentioned earlier. When people would come in and drop that off, that's where the challenge adult teams come in. They're able to come in and once everything's put into locked container when it's dropped off, the challenge adult teams are then the ones who throw it into the shredder. So it's good. It's really good.
So with the partnerships with the schools and they're coming in, and from talking to you before, I imagine this is part of that transition, the bridge between going to school, as all of our kids do up to the 12th grade, but then in the individual education plan process, they're actually covered through state support through age 22, and so there's a transition to employed life, and this is one of the ways that those needs are being met, and you're a service that partners in with the school systems to give that as an opportunity for employment education.
Exactly. Yeah, we get the 18 to 22 groups, and in my mission, my hopes are that when they come into the store, that group of 18 to 22, they see that there's other things out there. They get a flavor of working with the community, working with a cash register, helping customers, building their social skills or communication skills. Also, they get the team the team support that they need. So when we go out to our jobs, we always work with a group of people. We learn how to work with groups of people. And this provides that component where they have team members showing respect, working with one another. And that's a nice little thing. And there's just so many little things that they can pick up in that store and they can take with them, and they can maybe develop an idea of what they want to do, what they like to do. And this gives them that little avenue of finding something that they may truly like, and then follow up after they leave.
I think that one of the misconceptions so often of that kids, all of our kids going through high school, is that once you get that diploma or once you graduate, there's just going to be the next step, the next chapter. And Unfortunately, one of the realities of life is that for parents with children with special needs, there is not that clear break off. There's not the next chapter that starts. There is a continuing, you've had to fight so hard for services, and I believe you're a parent of a child with special needs. There is a fight, a constant struggle to obtain services, to keep those services,
to maintain
and to understand the changing landscape, either from a budget standpoint with Obamacare and continuing mass health. There's just it's a perpetually shifting sand of, okay, this is the reality, this is what I need, this is how I get it. And then at the age of 18, nothing really changes because you're still fighting for services. You're still fighting for, okay, what is the next step? Where is this person going? Are there transitional services? No. Is there a place for them to live? No. Are they going to be with me forever? Well, maybe yes, maybe that's what we want, but none of us still live with our parents. And, you know, as the part of the normal chapter of life, where do you go? So this sounds like a really, it sounds like it's also part of a real, I won't call it passion, but an experiential thing that you've done.
It's both. It was a passion.
And I apologize for bogarting.
No,
you go right ahead.
No, that's, please. No, it's exactly where I came from. My son was 18, going on 22, and I tried, when he was in school, to locate some type of employment for him. And I was the one that was going out and looking and asking, and everybody was like, no, I don't think so, no. So my son said to me one day, well, he liked to shred. Mom, can I shred when I get out of school? I said, sure, you can shred when you get out of school. And then I'm thinking, well, why not? Why not you and everybody else who wants to do these things? And so that's when my passion, it just opened up, and I developed I started up the nonprofit and then the small business. But the thing is it's difficult for individuals in the 18 to 22 year group who don't get out in the community and who are not exposed to the work concept. How do they know what they want to do if they're never exposed? So this opens that door up just a little bit, that they can see inside and say, hey, there's more to me than just sitting here and working on a computer and doing these different things. So it just opens that door up enough that they can see.
That's great. And I suppose it's true of everybody when they graduate is, oh my goodness, here I am, what do I do with the rest of my life? For many it's college, for many it's the trades, for many it's military. But for an adult or a young adult with special needs, the opportunities are much narrower, and a lot of it is dependent upon accessibility and availability. And I know that there are some programs sprinkled around, and back in the day it was the old sheltered workshop system where there was an opening, but you also had to be receiving services and in the system, and that doesn't necessarily work for everybody because
there's so many different levels.
Exactly, because we're all individuals.
We're all individuals, and we all have our own way of life and how we do things and how we perceive things. And it's the same with the challenged adult community. You have some that are very, very super high functioning, and then you have some that are very involved. But they all have capabilities, and it's just finding out which one really works for them and giving them that opportunity. And I think in the challenged adult community, I think there's services that are out there, there's businesses out there. And they are expanding out where they are developing their own businesses and getting their own people involved in these. They have redemption centers, and they've been around for a while, but they're growing, and they're looking out, they're finding niches. That's the best thing, that's the key thing, is finding a niche and getting our community, our adult community, involved in them and growing from there. And I think that will be the avenue down the road in the future where the adult programs start to develop their businesses and go.
Well, speaking of a niche, it seems as though you identified a need, and if there's a 54% growth in a single year leading into 2013, it's a burgeoning need, and so good for you for identifying that, or for making the match between a skill or an interest that your son had to a marketable, a task that you can create value to, and then monetizing that and do something that's self-sustaining.
Yes.
I know it's a nonprofit, but nonprofits and for-profits all still have to make money somehow
You
to
have to,
pay
whether
the
it's
bills,
through-
pay the people,
Exactly.
and keep it moving forward.
Exactly, and it's either through donations, you know, a lot of the nonprofits, they are dependent on donations, and in this time and age, especially in 2008, a lot of the donations sort of dropped off.
Sure.
And that makes it much more difficult for the nonprofits to function. I didn't want to follow that avenue of donations being dependent on them, because that's a whole nother life that you have to leave. It's just constantly looking for that funding money. And I'd rather spend it on growing our sales
Sure.
and getting our people in. Tim has been a huge asset to the corporation, and I'm so thankful he came along. And he's wonderful. He's wonderful with the adults. They love him. Absolutely love him.
Well, he seems like a nice
He works
kid.
with them. He does the operation side of it, which is going out and actually doing the customer pickup side, going out to the businesses and the residential areas and performing the pickups. And he has adults that work with him. And they're the employee side of it. The pickup side is where we're employing. And there's a lot of job training, a lot of community social aspects of it, because they're going into different locations all the time, different personalities. They're meeting different personalities. And they go up to Hannah Paper in the evening and they're working with the staff up there.
Sure.
And it's just absolutely wonderful.
It's good. The one thing going out on pickups too, it's nice, you know, with the guys going out with the different guys that I go out with. You know, it's fun to be able to, you know, kind of try to identify the limits and then try to push the limits and just, you know,
Exactly.
you know, and just keep on developing, and every, you know, almost daily you see improvements, and that's kind of what the whole point of the business is. And it really brings everything together when those moments happen and you see like the improvements day in and day out. It's just, you know, it's clear what the mission of the business is.
Well, and I spoke with you on the phone and getting this all set up, so I've enjoyed that interaction.
Yeah.
And so I've been looking forward to meeting you. So, of course, I'm speaking with Tim Carter, who is the operations manager, and Kathy Harney, who is the founder and president of Mansfield Shredding Services. So, how did you get involved?
Well, you know, it's partially, I've been, of course, looking for a job, and when I came across this, it was just, you know, something that really spoke to me on both ends. You know, as a marketing guy, I really liked the idea of it being a small business and be able to, you know, really pushing that portion of it. And then the other part of working with the challenged adult community was really just an added benefit that, you know, I had no clue how rewarding it would have been until I actually just dove in and gave it my all, you know. So everything from there is, you know, and again, like, you know, pushing their limits, it's similar with me. You know, they teach me, and I learn just as much as they do on most occasions. So it's good.
And it sounds as though it's not only do you enjoy the job, but you're being successful at it, and your success really supports the business, but also supports their opportunities. And so it's a pretty key position.
It is.
How many staff do you have that are not part of the challenge community?
That are not part of the challenge community? It's
None.
just Kathy and I.
Okay, so this is a legitimate business,
Yeah.
but it's also real. It's not, you don't have layers of bureaucracy. You don't have.
No, we are it. We are it.
Fantastic. So you never get sick?
I try not to.
Neither one of us.
and we work, and when we do, we work through it.
Well, you know, and it's always great to talk about an American success story in any environment or in any conversation. So
Absolutely.
you're talking about a startup business that is thriving and being successful, and then you add to it the goodness of what it does and the opportunities that it's giving. It's an American success story. So congratulations, first of all, but where do you see 2014 and beyond going?
We hope the trends and the patterns continue from the previous years. Everything's really trending in the right direction. You know, we really hope to, you know, welcome in even more volunteers. Hopefully, make our impact, you know, even larger than it is now. So that's really the whole idea. The more people we can get in, and the more, you know, opportunities we can provide, the better off we are. We think that's the whole point. So as our business increases, we're hoping the the volunteer and the employment side also does, you know.
Okay.
So it's working really well. It's a well-oiled machine.
So you have partnerships with a number of the surrounding school systems, including BICO and some others, who use you as a volunteer opportunity and job training opportunity for their, I'll call them tweener students between the ages of 18 and 22. So they get the folks to you, you work with them during the day.
They actually, we train on their initial, when they come into Mansfield shredding, we train them, and the supervisor who comes with them, and the students, and from that point on, they run it. The only portion where I'm involved or Tim involved is if we have customers coming in, and I'm hoping as time goes on that more of the individuals find their way to the register and the supervisor can start training them on the register customer service. But we do have groups who have been with us for 4 or 5 years, and they have done that. They have worked in those areas. And one of the individuals, he was with North Attleboro High School. He showed a huge interest in the cash register, working with the customers, and I hired him on, and he now works for me. He is 20 hours a week, but he can manage the store when Tim and I are out.
That's great.
He runs the registers, greets the customers, he can do the express shredding, and he's come a long way. He closes out the register and locks up.
Fantastic. So the business is working, the people who work there are working it, and there's a solid basis for what's going on. So customers come in. By the way, you talked about the different supervisors that come in
They're
supporting.
with the school.
They're with the school.
They're with the school or the adult program that comes in. They have a group where they have the supervisor, and they have usually 4 individuals that come with them, and they work, and they're the ones that do all the shredding, the sorting, and running everything, loading up the van, getting it ready to go to Hannah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mentioned that in a previous life. I had done some work in that area, and my worst story, of course, is one time I was supporting an individual who was obtaining employment at McDonald's. She was very successful. McDonald's asked me to leave because I kept doing bad things, not paying attention to. I didn't think the fries were done yet. It didn't look like they were done. You know, Bob, they continue cooking after you take them out of the fryer. I didn't understand that. So it's not as easy managing all the different. I will admit I'm a personality, so it's not as easy managing all the personalities. So again, good for you, because with the different groups coming in, you have a whole new set of understanding that you have to do. So that's a super skill that you have, both of you.
And again, it goes back to, you know, identifying individuals' limits and then trying to, you know, push those limits and broaden them.
For staff as well, yes. Understood. So the customer that comes up to you, I bring I've 3 months worth of bills accumulated, and it's winter out there, so I can't burn them in the backyard. I do get a permit. Nobody get excited. And I want to shred them. Do I have to bring $20 with me? What do I do?
It's actually very cost effective, and that's kind of, again, that really differentiates us from not only other shredding companies, but other businesses as a whole. Is not only can you come in and save some money, but you can help a good cause. As far as cost goes, again, we're really cost effective. I mean, a small box, your standard WB Mason or Staples box, a ream of paper box, that's just $4 to drop off. So it's, I mean, what would take you months to accumulate, you could shred properly for just $4.
And then I've got peace of mind. There will be no security issues on my end.
Exactly.
And it's going to a good cause, and it does seem rather cost effective. And it seems to be more, because I've seen the Hannah plant, and that's very intimidating from a customer. And so coming to 174 North Main Street, see how I have that in my notes, folks? That's why I'm hosting this program. 174 North Main Street, Mansfield, they'll come out to the car, they'll pick it up. I don't have to worry about ice, I don't have to worry about anything. Very nice, very nice.
Our customer service is our big push. I mean, without our customers, we don't have the business. So we service our customers. They pull up out front, and the guys go out and they help them carry all the boxes in. We do as much as we can for them. We'll help them. Anything they need, we're going to try to help them. And we service a lot of the residentials where we have the geriatric population.
Okay.
Very, very supportive, because they need to help with the carrying of the boxes, or if they can't get them, we'll come to their house based on the number of boxes, and we'll help them,
Okay.
get them loaded up.
Wow,
So
that's great.
yeah, we do a lot of services. We're thinking of the community supports us, we support them. So we have a lot of small businesses in the surrounding community, and they've been with us for a long time.
So if folks at home know of a person who might need some added support, but they have this important task to be done, they can reach out to you. And you also have, in addition to just walking in the store at 174 North Main Street, they can contact you by telephone at 508-618-4222. They can also look you up on the web, and all your information is there at www.mansfieldshredding.com.
That's correct.
And you have a Twitter feed?
We do. We're out on social media, both Facebook and Twitter. Facebook, you can link there from our webpage, or just search us on Facebook, Mansfield Shredding, or Twitter is @MansfieldShred. We're very active on both Facebook and Twitter, so come pay us a visit.
And of course, if anybody at home can't remember all that real quick, just log on to our website at www.fcatv.org and click on the link for Foxboro Central. You'll find this program as well as all the others that we've done. Folks, we are so close to running out of time, and it's been a pleasure meeting you. Tim Carter, the operations manager of Mansfield Shredding. Kathy Harney, what is the one overriding message that you would love my folks at home to know?
Well, I just want to let them know that it was a lot of collaboration with local businesses that helped to get us up and off the ground. And there are 3 organizations that I want to thank. Actually, it would be Hannah Paper Recycling, where they did a lot of the mentoring, and now we have such a strong relationship with them. Pentair Valves, which used to be Tyco Valves, they're a good supporter of ours, and then also Samsonite in the community. And they're very, very good supporters of ours. And then we have 3 foundations and trust funds. We don't actively seek donations, but these are individuals that have supported us over the years. We have the Olieri Charitable Foundation, the Boehm Nominee Trust Fund, and then also the Patrick McLaughlin Memorial Fund. Okay. And they've been very good to us over our past 7 years.
So you have community support, you have philanthropic support, and you have business support.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. And it sounds as though you're very supportive of the folks that work with you.
Absolutely.
And so I have to ask, how's your son doing?
My son is doing well. He's 26, and he works at the store 2 days a week. That's what he's permitted through the agencies. And then his other 3 days, he's at his adult service program, and that's a House of Possibilities in Easton, which is a lovely foundation organization.
Great.
And he's eagerly awaiting the finishing of this production.
Yes, he wants a copy.
He wants a very good.
A copy.
Well, I hope he gets a copy, and I hope everybody at home has enjoyed watching this. Tim, I'm going to give you the last word then.
Well, first and foremost, we want to say thank you very much for having us. It's been our pleasure, and again, it's just all about the challenged adult community here at Mansfield Shredding, and we look forward to gaining some new customers here in Foxboro.
Well, great. And if you at home need shredding services for all your documents so you don't want them to get in the wrong hands, contact Mansfield Shredding. Again, the number is 508-618-4222. I'm Bob Hickey, your host. We are so out of time, I can't even believe it. Check us out again at www.fcatv.org to find this program as well as all the other Foxboro Centrals. On behalf of all the volunteers here at Foxboro Central, thank you for watching. Take care, everybody.